Hey everyone, the curriculum that I resonated with the most was the Montessori approach by Maria Montessori. So I'm just gonna kind of go over the parent questions. So it says, how do you prepare for the children for kindergarten? So basically, there's from ages 3 to 6. We work in 4 areas. We do practical life, sensorial, language, and mathematics to prepare them for kindergarten. So practical, like washing, polishing, setting the table, arranging flowers, also having manners, grace and courtesy, being able to achieve coordination and control of movement, as well as exploration of, their surroundings. And also being able to know that they can complete a task from beginning to end and develop self-discipline and, have good concentration and good self-confidence within themselves. And then sensorial tools for children to define each of their senses. So working with kind of, sensorial materials, in order to find order and meaning in the world and kind of help with perception and admiration for, the things in our world and stuff like that. And then language materials are designed to enhance vocab and explore, written and spoken language. So through language-based activities, such as like the sandpaper letters and the movable alphabet. They learn sounds and how to compose words. And then they kind of use that concrete materials to compose their own written work, and then read the work to others, and learn to communicate with their own unique thoughts and feelings and stuff like that. So 1 to 2 minutes, I'm already at 2 minutes. State standards. It was kind of weird. It was hard for me to find like state standards for Montessori because they don't really have like a said curriculum. The children are the ones that kind of, teachers guide them, but the children are the ones that kind of show what they're interested in, and then those teachers kind of branch off of that and use those lessons to teach what the kids are interested in. So I did find something that said, the Montessori Compass team is pleased to provide a sophisticated and comprehensive mapping to the Common Core state standards. So I know there's Common Core, which is like, some people like it, there's a lot of controversy with it. So I don't know if they were talking about just Common Core or if they were talking about state standards. It just says Common Core state standards. And it says, developed in collaboration with Tim Selden and the Montessori Foundation team, this mapping is the first of its kind to demonstrate how a robust Montessori scope and sequence maps to the defined Common Core standards for English language arts, mathematics, kindergarten through 6th grade. So that part was a little bit weird to find out. And then how to incorporate math. So they use tangible things to touch, using number rods, and they use different exercises, building them to ascend stairs to understand how the numbers rise, counting them out loud, when asked for a certain number, verbally demonstrating the differences between 2 rods to gain greater familiarity of the relationships between numbers. They use the golden beam, moving of the, the little beads going back and forth. And then once the children are able to hold the material in their hands, the materials are symbolic and representative of something else, like numbers, and that symbolism will change over time until children are ready to let go of materials and go onto pen and paper, or in this case, colored pencils and, more fun, bright things to experience and play with. And then will my child work on their writing? Like I said, they learn to write before they learn to read. So these children are able to put letters to sounds they know together into a word if they're ready to interpret and string together the sounds of a word on a page. And once they've mastered the sounds associated with each letter, they'll be shown, the movable alphabet, and which will allow them to easily put letters together, sounding them out to spell simple but, progressively more complex words. And children love to move. This is all about the Montessori. She's all about movement and, very against having a group of children sit and just listen to the teacher. So there's a lot of freedom, a lot of open space to move. So they learn best by physically interacting with the world, so they will not take advantage of their natural tendencies to do so. Then the movable alphabet allows children to begin writing before they even develop, those fine motor skills. So once they do, and they do develop those hand strength, kind of fine motor skills, they can do activities, and like I said, they like to use colored pencils and trace shapes, draw parallel lines, make patterns. So children love to color and create artwork, practicing a skill they will later use to write letters and words. Though doing this, the children learns to use and control pencils while expressing herself in a creative way. So, using vibrant colors and colors that are attractive to them will help them, other than just, plain old paper and pencil, which isn't that exciting. So how to find out more about this curriculum: there's tons of stuff online, tons of websites. There's the American Montessori Society website. There's livingmontessori.com, montessoriservices.com, montessori.org. There's a lot of books on it as well. And, there's other schools that have their own websites, Montessori schools, that you can look up and kind of see how they do things versus other schools. I would assume it's mostly, the same, since they're doing the same, curriculum approach. But yeah, a lot of stuff online. What is the research based on? So Maria Montessori, she was an Italian physician and educator and scientist, and she worked with underprivileged kids in inner cities of Rome and created her own child care center, and pretty much just taught what she believed. And it kind of went viral, as you could say, and it went big. And then that's how she kind of started off, with that approach and teaching others and stuff like that. It says Dr. Montessori designed unique learning materials for them, many of which are still in use in Montessori classrooms today, and created a classroom environment that fostered the children's natural desire to learn. So she was all about, she knows that children want to learn. That's a natural human desire that we all have, is we all want to learn. And she knew that. And, these underprivileged kids, people just brushed them aside because they thought, they're poor, they're inner city, they're not going to learn, they don't have the capacity to learn. And she kind of thought to herself, yes, they do. They just need the right tools and materials to show you. So she provided that for them. And it worked. All the kids started to learn and pick up things and stuff like that. So it says, why do you feel my child would benefit from most of the curriculum? So Montessori programs are specifically good for children who are self-directed. They can work independently for an extended period of time. They can work well alone or in groups. The focus on individual learning allows students to work at their own pace, and can also provide a healthy environment for special needs children as well. And Montessori schools, they inspire confidence. They nurture the child's desire for learning, discovery, social interaction skills, and skills in an environment where teachers are encouraging, engaging, and value the individual child. how do you individualize the curriculum for each child? So Montessori, say they have 25 different students, each of those 25, which they are in mixed groups, they're all not in the same age. It's like from ages 3 to 6 and then like 6 to 12. So there are other kids in there that that learn and are on different levels of learning as well. But they like to, it says each of the 25 will be at a different academic level that is observed and tracked by a teacher. So rather than giving group lessons and everyone just sitting down and listening, they give one-on-one lessons to each student depending on their level and their needs. Most of the time this can work because most of the children work independently, spending much of the day practicing and perfecting their work, and then they have these one-on-one lessons with the children, and they can get feedback and progress and stuff like that, which is always beneficial. Oh, and then teachers are trained on this curriculum, so you would need a bachelor's degree. That's what which is necessary. And then you complete a Montessori training program, which takes about 2 years to complete the coursework and the hours and the internships and all the exams and stuff like that. And then you get a Montessori teaching diploma from a program accredited by the Association of Montessori International, which prepares, the teachers for a Montessori approach. So that's it. And then I think that's it. That's the approach. That's the Montessori approach. I resonate with it. I really enjoy the practical life approach to it and learning practical skills. I think that's very beneficial to give them independence and freedom. And also for them to have self-discipline and be accountable for their actions, because I know, working at a daycare, a lot of children, this is normal, but a lot of children are very attached. And, the sooner you can make them less attached and feel independent, and I feel like that will resonate with as you get older. So, I know, people going off to college and stuff like that. Some people are scared. Some people are just more homebodies and they feel safer, staying close to home and all of that, which is fine. But, instilling this early to be independent and to have self-confidence and go out, and go for your dreams and just really be independent, I think will help with, all of kind of the future world skills that you're going to need for the future, for college, for having practical things and sustaining things like learning how to cook and garden and clean and take care of value your things. There's so many people out there that don't know how to value their things, and parents forget to teach kids that, and kids grow up with having these things, and either they break or they don't treat them good, and then they just think, oh, mom and dad will buy me a new one. And that's not how they should be thinking. They should be valuing their clothes and their toys and all of that, because who knows if they can get another one. If that's great, they can, that's awesome. But treating your stuff with respect and always having a place for it. Like my mom always says, when your room is organized, your brain is organized. And I truly feel that. When my room is messy and everything's not in its place and there's clothes everywhere and, things are messy, I feel messy in my head too. So I think Montessori really helps represent that, of being independent and taking care of yourself and having practical life skills to help you, because mom and dad won't be there the whole time, they can't be. So learning this independence early, I think, is very beneficial. So thanks, everyone.